Hey guys, my name is Chandani. Welcome to my video. Today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This tag obviously is meant to be done mid-year. When am I doing it? At the end of July. So it's probably a little too late to be doing this tag, but I say it's never too late to do tags. Therefore, why I'm doing this one. So let's do it! Question number 1. What is the best book you've read so far in 2018? So for this answer, I was kind of struggling to make an answer because this year has been it has not been a good reading year. I've read a lot of books that I just didn't feel very connected with. I didn't finish it and I was like, oh my god, I love this, or oh my god, you're my favorite. I just read a lot of rereads. I've actually finished a lot of series that I've meant to finish for a long time. Those are probably my favorites, but any like new reads that I've read haven't been so amazing. Kind of makes me sad because, you know, I was kind of hoping that this year is gonna be awesome, but out of the 35 books that I've read so far, they have not been that awesome. But it's fine because I still managed to make an answer for this question, and these books I would consider almost 4 out of 5 star rating. So for those best books that I've read so far in 2018, it would be Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo and The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. So these two books, I would consider them pretty dang good, but are they my favorite of 2018? We'll see. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read so far this year. For this question, this makes me so happy. The answer to that, best sequel I've read so far this year, I say sequels, oh my god, you got a glimpse already, but it's Cress and Winter by Marissa Meyer. Oh my goodness. I cannot explain to you how much I love The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. It is easily one of my favorite series of all time. The books give me so much happiness. The characters give me so much happiness. It's such a fantastic series and I recommend it to anyone and everyone. I started off the year reading The Lunar Chronicles. I already read Cinder and Scarlet way back, and I finally got these two and I read them. Oh my god, look! I have tabs in here. I don't know why. What are these tabs? Oh, these tabs are marking when Cinder and Kai had their moments because I've been waiting for it since the first book. These were easily the best sequels that I read this year. Really enjoy the fantastical, magical retelling of a series. Question number 3. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Well, this is technically the only release this year that I want to read. No, that I have but want to read, and you've probably seen me mention this in my summer TBR, and I hope that I will get to it, and that is Children of Blood and Bone. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. We all know what it's about at this point. If you don't, I wonder where you have been. Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. This question, or at least the answers pertaining to this question throughout booktube, may have been this book. I don't know if you also noticed, but I'm a huge Cassandra Clare fan. I love her stories. I have her stories to thank for a lot of things in my life. So naturally you would know the answer that Queen of Air and Darkness is what I'm waiting for, is what I need in my hands, but I'm not ready for it. Question number 5. Biggest disappointment. Now, as I previously mentioned before, this year has not been the greatest reading year because I've read a lot of books that I felt meh about, that I was just like, yeah, it was good, yeah, that's fine, sure. Or then there's some that I was very disappointed, and I'm going to share with you 2 of them. The first that I share my disappointment is The Last Star by Rick Yancey. This is the last installment of the Fifth Wave trilogy, and it was just not, oh my god. I put off reading it for so long because I didn't want it to be bad, and then when I finally read it, I was shocked how it wasn't, no, this wasn't what I wanted. This just wasn't what I wanted. But the next book that I've been disappointed in, this book makes me so sad that I don't know what happened. And that book is End of Days by Susan E. This is the last installment in the Angel Fall trilogy. Let me tell you, Angel Fall was a fantastic book. It was so amazing, so adventurous, so creepy, and just everything that I love in an apocalyptic book or post-apocalyptic. And I was just like, I had faith in this trilogy. I hoped that it would be more because there's so much to explore in this world. But no, I read the second book and I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, it wasn't as great as Angel Fall, but I really enjoyed it. And then I got this book and it's just, what is this book? What even is this? It just doesn't make sense at all. Everything that happened in this book just was a big disappointment. Like, every element that made this trilogy great was it was thrown out the window. It no longer existed. And if you read it, there were certain things that happened that I did not approve of. No. I want to tell you, please read Angel Fall. It's amazing if you haven't. But I don't want to, because I don't want you to read it and then think, I'll read the second book and then think, I'm gonna go to End of Days and then fall in this little hole of disappointment that I fell in, and I don't want that for you. So the best I can do is, if you're gonna read Angel Fall, just read it and pretend that's the end and don't go further. Question number 6. Biggest surprise for this book was actually a very pleasant surprise, and I'm actually very happy that I read it because it was actually really fun, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. This was very appealing to read. I really enjoyed it. It was very adventurous. Our main character, Alosa, is so badass, and I really enjoy her snarkiness and just, you know, how she takes charge in situations. And the romance, I enjoyed it. I don't know what it was about this book. I went into it because I was like, hey, it's really short. Hey, I haven't read about a pirate book in a long while. Actually, I never read a pirate book. What am I saying? If you want something quick, fun, adventurous, badass characters, great romance, or a very hot and wild romance, I would recommend this. Question number 7. Favorite new author, new or debut to you? So for this question, it was kind of hard because, like I said, I read a lot of rereads, and the new books that I read weren't exactly like up par for me, but Laini Taylor, I'm gonna admit, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I had mixed feelings reading it. The first half was so magical, so beautiful. I loved the way it was written. It intrigued me, it gripped me just from the beginning pages, but the second half, it didn't have the same elements from when I read the beginning, but that's okay because I think Laini Taylor is a very fantastic author. I find her words so beautiful and magical, and yeah, it's a magical book, but she has a way with writing, which is probably the main reason why I'm gonna read the second book. Question number 8. Newest fictional crush. Honestly, I haven't read any like really cool ass characters or any very like swoon worthy characters or characters that I was like, I love you and you are precious and you deserve the world, or I just want to marry you. Just simple as that. But nope, I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. Question number 9. Newest favorite characters. So for this one, I can easily give you plenty of people who I really love. One of them being Captain Thorn. He was a great dude, man. He was hilarious. I also love the Raven Boys, so like the whole friend group in the Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. They're a great dynamic and I really liked them. I really enjoyed reading about them. I really like like Alina Starkov from Shadow and Bone. She was such a badass character. I loved her. I also currently really love Christian Ozera and Adrian what's his name? How do you pronounce his name? I'm just not gonna say his whole name because it's bound to be mispronounced by me. But I really like Adrian and Christian from Vampire Academy, which I'm currently reading the series, and yeah, those are my favorite new characters. I just think they were all brilliant. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. So for this question, I chose Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. There were certain elements that really hit home to me personally, so obviously I cried a lot during those times. Although this may not be my favorite book that I read this year, and I have my reasons, it still made me cry, and I still appreciate it for what it is. Question number 11. I ran out of fingers. We're just gonna go with it. A book that made you happy. So for this question, I chose Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This book is so freaking adorable. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I was smiling like an idiot 90% of the time. It's such a great book and I was so happy reading it. Question number 12. Favorite book to movie adaptation you saw this year? For this one, I chose actually a great book that I read this year. Okay, maybe I should have chose this for my favorite book of 2018. But honestly, when I was figuring out the answers to these questions, I was like, okay, you can't have it as two answers. And that is Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. And I actually figured out that there's a movie of Ruby Red, but it's in German. And it's actually, what is it called when people, when like there's a voiceover actor in a different language? Yeah, they do the English version of that. Wow, I don't know the word for that. I was actually very impressed. It's better than most book to film adaptations I've seen. The movie's on YouTube. I just love the book and I love the movie, and I think you should read it and then watch it and enjoy your time because it's so fun. I love it and it was so good and it's just fantastic. Question number 13. Favorite video you've done so far this year? For this question, I can't really give you an answer because so far I only have about 2 videos posted on my channel. But I would have to say that my favorite video was probably my summer TBR because, or both of them, I don't know. The first one was because of how I edited it, and then the second one I kind of added these really like ridiculous edits because you can just watch them and then you'll like understand, and you'll also understand that there's like a certain hair that came out in my last video. You'll totally understand what I mean when you watch it. So if you want to see my favorite video so far this year, just watch that one. Question number 14. Most beautiful book that you've bought or received this year? For this answer, I actually have, I should be ashamed, but I am not ashamed because everyone does this anyway. I was scrolling through Book Outlet and I saw these books and I was like, I don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna buy it. And that is An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. And let me tell ya, you already see, I don't need to tell you, but look at this. It's just, that's really, really dang pretty. Like, look at this spine. I like the whole white scheme that it has going on. It's a really, really pretty book. And I actually have another answer to this question. For this book, I actually saw it on Book Outlet too, but then I saw it was the second book and I was like, okay, well, it's really pretty, so I should probably get the first book. So I got the first book even though I was not interested in the first book, but I found this cover of the second book pretty, so I thought to buy it. So now I have to read it because that's just wrong. And that is The Wish Granter by CJ Redwine. This is a very pretty cover and like, oh, the map is even beautiful, more beautiful than the cover, and it's just, I think it's a fantastic looking book and that's why I bought it. So the last question to this video is number 15, and that is, what book do you need to read by the end of this year? And I say all of them. If you want a more detailed answer to this, you can watch my previous video, which is my summer TBR. I actually tell you a list of all the books that I want to read for the summer, and it is pretty long, pretty ambitious, and I don't think I'm gonna get to it, but we can only try and hope we will succeed. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you guys for watching my video. I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this massive world. Bye!